Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we're going to talk about the fact that your subconscious mind does not know the difference between reality and fantasy. In other words, it can't tell the difference if you're really doing something right now or just pretending. Pretending includes thinking about it, talking about it, listening to it, watching it, pretending. When we look at the things we know about the subconscious mind, it can be a little bit alarming. And this idea that your subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between really doing something or just pretending to do something can be alarming. And to tell you the truth, it causes a lot of friction in our lives. So, what we do in the world of hypnosis is we say, okay, fine, we're going to take advantage of these quirky little traits of the subconscious mind. And if the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between actually doing something or just thinking about doing something, then by gosh, I am going to reprogram my mind to do what I want by thinking about what it is I want to be doing. Thinking about it, talking about it, and really getting into that feeling state that it is happening right here and now. If you have been a longtime student of the law of attraction, you know that idea is probably one of the most common ideas in regard to making law of attraction work for you. It's the idea that you've got to get into that feeling state. And the reason for that is because when you're in the feeling state, you're in present moment awareness, right? Whatever it is that you're feeling, your subconscious mind is responding to that, and that informs the programming. It also informs the vibrational frequency you are emitting. But let's get back to this idea about the subconscious mind not knowing the difference between really doing something or just pretending to do something. So it can create a lot of friction in our lives if, for example, you find yourself, you're just, putzing around your day and doing your thing, and out of the blue, you start remembering or ruminating. I love that word. Ruminating over a difficult conversation you had with somebody the day before, or the year before, or 10 years before, or 20 years before. Honest to God, it doesn't matter. And you know what else doesn't matter? Is that when you are ruminating over this conversation, your subconscious mind is releasing the chemistry of those thoughts. And that's going to lead us into another video later that I'll talk about called emotional addiction. That one is quite eye-catching. But back to this one. The thing about the subconscious mind is that it will respond by tagging you with those emotions connected to the thoughts about that event, even though they are not happening. And here's the real kicker. It does this even when you're making things up. And I know you do it. We've all done it. I do it still, even though I probably catch myself a little more often than I used to. But sometimes, I will launch into a negative tirade or a worry or something that somebody did 10 years ago that they should not have done, and it hurt my feelings. And I'll just go into this fantasy world of a conversation and remembering this event. And it's like making this little mind movie, this little story in my brain. And the fact of the matter is number one, it didn't really happen that way. Number two, it sure as hell isn't happening right now. But my subconscious mind does not know that. It is responding as if it were happening right now. Yeah, I know that's familiar to you. So if you're having an aha moment with this and saying, oh yeah, I relate to that, I do that all the time, and it's not a pleasant thing to do, give me a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do so. Let's talk about this trait of the subconscious mind and see how can we make this, turn this to our benefit. We do it all the time in the world of hypnosis. We do it using something called future pacing. Are you familiar with that term? If you are a professionally certified hypnotist, you are very well versed in that term. And if not, let me tell you what that is and how we use that. When I have a client come in and they've got test taking anxiety or public speaking anxiety. Oh my gosh, all these things. Or any kind of a fear or a phobia like that. One of the strategies we use is this future pacing. And what we do is I will have the client, in conversation, we'll make out a list, a bullet point list of the event, the way they want it to be. Okay. Not the way it is, because the way it is sucks, or they wouldn't be in my office, right? So we make a list of how they want it to be. And then in that state of hypnosis, which is just relaxation, what we go through this list, and after every one or two or three items on the list, we stop and we reinforce how comfortable you feel, how relaxed you feel, how confident you feel, right? And how well things are going. And then we go down the list a few more items, and then once again make some comment about how, you're noticing this good thing and you're noticing that good thing. And we go through that. And what happens as you listen to this, I make hypnosis recordings for all my clients. Repetition is the name of the game around here. So as they listen to the way they want things to be in this future pace, remember, the subconscious mind doesn't know it's not really happening. And it's not going to question you at all. And through the repetition of these ideas, it's creating imagery of the words, because if you've watched another video of mine about the secret language of the subconscious mind, it's imagery. So as it's listening to this hypnosis recording, it's making this beautiful imagery of how you want things to be. You listen to that in the state of hypnosis every day for just like 10 days or 2 weeks. And that creates an entire new little, I call it a neighborhood. It's a set of neural networks in your brain. And that becomes your new reality. Isn't that crazy? Honestly, if I sat and talked to you, maybe I'll make a video of it. I could, just reduce your entire life down to nothing but neural pathways, because really that's all we are, is a bunch of neural pathways, and we're responding to that programming. And it's very much like a computer program. It's kind of like TikTok. Are you familiar with the TikTok algorithm? What it does is it pays attention to the stuff that you watch. So if you watch cowboy dancing videos and then you watch cooking videos, it pays attention to what you're doing, and so then it starts to feed you more videos on those topics. Well, your subconscious mind is pretty much the same. Whatever you're focused on, it enhances and it reinforces those ideas, and it feeds you more ideas and then the same ideas, because it doesn't know that it's not really happening. So knowing that, use that to your advantage. Tell yourself, you know what, if my subconscious mind is going to start responding to a bunch of stuff that's made up, then I'm going to make up something good. Make things up the way you want them to be. Use the language that creates the imagery of what you want in your life. And don't let the fact that it's not really happening keep you from living the life of your dreams. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you do, drop me a note in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. And all of these videos, there's so many things to talk about, and it's all connected. They all tie together. So if you still have questions, let me know. I may already have a video answering that, but if not, I'll be happy to answer that for you. And you know what? You can do this. You can rewire your brain so that you can have a very, very happy, beautiful, loving, peaceful life. Who else is going to do it if you don't, right? See you at the next go round.